but overall all the labor codes, for everyone out here, we have more than 80 participants in this. Each participant has a couple of people, so more than 100 participants are there on this, and it is wonderful for people to know. And once again, I thank Sri Kakatji as well as Sanket to really give insights on not only history of labor laws and labor codes, why it was done and everything, and also brief overview of all labor codes, including wage code. Before we just put on the questions here, since you are kind of a payroll, let me just give you one particular sample of a sheet. PF contribution is still 12%. It was always 10 and 12. So the wage code still has 12%. That. If you can see the sample, salary sheet, or I'll just give a definition. Then you can apply any formula you want. So if you can see here, this is shared.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If you can see here, and the existing, if the gross salary is 20,000, the existing salary, the contribution, and all the CTC, including your bonus and gratuity, we are not taking leave and all. Let's take the leave ahead. But I'm just talking about more a statutory point of view. We talk about gratuity, we talk about bonus and everything. The CTC comes around 23,265, and after the CTC is you have contributions and all of the employee which is there, and from PF and P-tax, the employee's contribution is deducted, and the total he gets 80,000 net. So this is more about just the example. You're not going to do now why he's supposed to have ESIC, not ESIC. Let's not. We're talking more on the wage code part. Now, as per wage code, the definition in the wage code is put up into three parts. Can you just put on the definition? Something we have the definition. Very critical is about the definition. First of all, the definition of wage code, they talk about basic and DA and retaining allowance. That's what the wages is across all the labor codes as mentioned by Sanket. That's what the basic definition is. Apart from that, then they have exclusions. Okay, so between A to I, so it is up to K, but A to I there are exclusions, right from bonus contribution, then PF employer or pension employer contribution. Then one second, I'll just share that screen. Can you just stop this and share that screen? Is the screen available?
Definition.
Yeah, the definition of wage code.
I'll stop sharing.
I just put up a definition of wage code just to give a perspective. If you see the difference, if you have a 20,000 salary, it is 265 net in hand is lesser for an employer. Now you see, I was just talking about basic wages. Can you just expand a bit? Yes, maximize. Yeah, perfect. I just go up. Just scroll up. A to I. Just scroll up. More up. Hold. Thank you. All more up, please. Yeah. Okay. So these are the exclusions. So inclusion is basic DA retaining allowance. Exclusion is bonus. Then you have a house accommodation. You didn't talk about HRA or house accommodation, cost of house accommodation, and on a special order of appropriate government, which means, say in Maharashtra and West Bengal, you have HRA as a component. Minimum Maharashtra minimum HRA Act or West Bengal HRA Act. So those contributions would be excluded from the wages, and contribution paid by the employer for any pension or provident fund. Now, see when they say any pension, which means it can be PF, it can be a pension under EPF Act, it can be your pension under your pension, the provisions which are there. It can be your public provident fund, it can be your NPS scheme, National Pension Scheme, and so on and so forth. And the funny part is that you have to also add that interest part in that, which is excluded. Then you have conveyance, and you have Any different special expenses are there, then your HRA, remuneration paid by awards and rewards, then any overtime, commission and all. So this is the second part of that, which is not included. Now, you have in payroll, and when I see, Dwari system as well, and I've seen so many clients, you are there, you have, very fancy names as far as your wage, nomenclature is concerned. So whichever your fancy names are there, if it is not in the inclusions or exclusions, everything will be part of basic pay. So that's very important for you to know. And the additional part is down part. You just go down, please. Can you scroll down? Now, what it says is, and that's what I'll just share that exceptionally. What it says is, now, especially all the allowances which are excluded between A to I.
बघितलं तर समजणार असं ऐकून समजणार
Just put me on. All right, thank you so much. Just put me on. It'll be better. Yeah, go back to the A to I exclusions are very important, but from A to I, if the exclusions total exceeds the overall total with the whatever basic wages is more than 50%, okay, the balance of that. So, for example, 10,000 was your basic HR, basic and DA and retaining allowance. Another 10,000 is your all A to I. Now, if this exceeds more than 10,000, okay, the given example, the balance figure will be transferred back to the basic. So you cannot have exclusions, and whatever exclusion you want to have, you can't have that also. If it is more than 50% exclusion, that amount also will be part of basic wages. So that's very important for you to know. The funny part is that over time, your commission, your interest on pension or PF will always change on a monthly basis. It's going to be a harrowing experience for Dhwani and team and also the HR to keep on changing the nomenclature on month to month. So these are the questions to be answered by the government. That's the whole point about them. So it's very important for you to ensure that you have the right nomenclature for the wage code. The third part is that if at all you have any allowances given as kind, for example, you give your Sodexo card or some card, or you give some gifts to the employee. So total of that cannot exceed 15% of that. Just pull down. Yeah, this cannot exceed 15%. That's very important. So this thing has to be taken care. That the first is what is the basic wages, whatever it is. Second is what are the exclusions. Third is the 15% part is very important. Before that, the most important part is even the exclusions are there total. That cannot exceed 50%. If it exceeds, then it will be part of basic wages. All right. So understanding this definition, go back to the sheet where a sample payroll or structure is just mentioned. So in this scenario, now you see the PF contribution, yes, is there on the right hand side. The gratuity is also there. Now gratuity will increase, all right, because earlier the gratuity was only basic. Here the basic would be more, and there we have to ensure that it is 50%. Now the upper part of the total, that is basic, HRA, convenience, and other allowances there. So basic would remain the same 10,000. Other allowance would be HRA, convenience, all right, and PF and employer share. The entire total of that, if it is exceeding the basic, the amount would go back to basic. I hope you all have understood that. So this is the comparison statement. Oh. Stop. I hope you are able to see. So this is a comparative statement where we agree. The point to be noted is that most of the companies, you will have a basic around 35 to 40%. And now it will go to 50%. So most of the companies the companies who have to worry is, I have seen, in our whole 20 years career, there are basic wages as low as 20%. I'm so sure Kakat Karshi will also agree with you, and he has also faced this issue where people complain and all. So, and it's not as for many wages and all, so that's the problem. So you need to ensure that we pay the right wages. That's very important. And second question, there are three important points which Sanket has told, and I just want to summarize one second for you. One is the fixed term contract, which is there in the AOS6 code, which he beautifully described it. The important point, if you have noted there, is that today gratuity is applicable after 4 years and 240 days of your continuous working. However, if you have a fixed term contract of 1 year, gratuity is applicable on the FTC for 1 year as well. That's the most important part you can understand. Second most important other issue is about interstate migrant worker, and what he already briefed about it. Currently, interstate migrant worker is only applicable to the contractual worker, and also applicable to only those. All right, I'll speak on the mic itself like a rock star, and I'll try to see. I hope now my voice is very clear. All right, so contract. I just lost what I was talking about. Yeah, okay. Interstate migrant worker. So today, the definition of interstate migrant worker states for the contractual employees, which means if you are in Maharashtra state, for example, if you go to Gujarat, you go to MP, you hire an employee there, the contractor goes there, hires the employee there, tells him to come to Maharashtra state and work. Then only Interstate Migrant Worker Act is applicable. This current situation. If you hire anyone who is just coming from anywhere of India, and you hire him in Mumbai and placing in Mumbai itself or in Maharashtra itself, interstate migrant worker is not one. Interstate migrant only applicable when you hire from other state and bring back to your home state. That's where it is applicable. However, the new wage code or the new labor codes, interstate migrant is totally paradigm shift. It is also applicable to the principal employer, that's main establishment, not the contractual, and is applicable to all such people who are non-resident of that particular state, okay, and they come here to work, even if they are taking an interview, being interviewed in the same home state. So that's a big difference, and when it's implemented, there will be added burden of compliance. So while they say that 29 labor acts, just to conclude, 29 labor acts have been made as the 4 wage code or 4 codes. The life is not going to be easier. It may be simpler, but not easier. There will be more compliances to be followed, and also please note that as all other labor laws have evolved over the time, like payment wage, which was 1926, or minimum wage is 1948, or PF, ESI came in 52 and 48. It was evolved over the years. This wage code and labor code also is going to be evolving. Now, till the time is completely evolved, there is a lot of plus minus, a lot of case laws will come, a lot of things will come. You will be seeing the same thing in GST as well, right? GST, when it was implemented in 2017, a lot of things have changed, right? 2019 it was implemented. A lot of things, a lot of case laws came in. Same is going to happen to labor code also. It's going to be very volatile. What do you say, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
of course.
so you need to ensure that you.
It's very dynamic.
Exactly. You need to ensure that you always have a right payroll software partner and compliance partner to ensure that you get the right guidance always. The team has already put up the one app and questions, so you'll have please install the app. It's good because you'll always keep the abreast about whatever happening in labor laws and compliance and all, and it's all done by the Karma team.